Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back into DaBearsDen, an NFL podcast with the Chicago Bears first focus. I'm your host, Alex, and we're here tonight recording a little bit on the later side. I've been having some computer issues lately. I know I just announced my new schedule of videos Monday through Friday at 3 p.m., but I was having some recording issues these past couple days. My computer's been really funky, looking at potentially upgrading some parts, but I think we should be back now. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any problems with this, but gonna go and get into it. We got a couple segments that I really want to talk about today. First off, breaking news this week: JJ McCarthy going down. Uh, Needing a full repair on the meniscus, and you know, I see some Bears fans out there, you know, celebrating that. Oh, Minnesota be terrible, nice, like Sam Darnold's, whatever. Um, 2 free wins, and while that's a good aspect, yes. Um, I'm one of the types of fans that really wants like I really want the division to be. I want to be winning a competitive division, right? I don't want it to be like Tom Brady and the Patriots, where they just kind of get to coast for the majority of his, career there. Kind of like Aaron Rodgers had in the NFC North for a long time. After like late 2000s, early 2010s, like the Bears were bad. Detroit was bad throughout pretty much that entire time. And Minnesota was like up and down, right? I want a division where, Caleb Williams and DJ Moore and Rome and Cole Kmet can be at the top of their division against other good teams, right? And so, JJ McCarthy, I thought he was a great quarterback in college. I really enjoyed watching his games at Michigan, even though, I root for Ohio State. But I think, he's really talented. And, I was really looking forward to watching a NFC North this year with Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, and JJ McCarthy competing, right? That was something that I was really looking forward to. And it sucks that that's not the case. And so, now it's kind of like, well, where does Minnesota go now? Because they traded up a lot of assets to be able to get into the first round this year, to move up into the first round to be able to get this kid. Um, Now what? You lose a year of development, you lose a year of the rookie contract, you lose a year of Justin Jefferson's new extension. That really sucks, right? And you don't even get to see, how he's going to progress and how he's going to develop this year. So, could they make a trade and maybe try and get, more of an experienced veteran? Um, Someone like a Jimmy Garoppolo or someone of that nature. Maybe I think that they're going to try and run it with Sam Darnold and see what happens. Look, Sam Darnold could be on the precipice of kind of a career revival season like Geno's had, like Baker Mayfield had in Tampa last season, right? So I think that, while I don't see Minnesota being great this year, and I think there's a pretty good amount of Minnesota fans that, thought that this team wasn't really competing like they have these past few years. Um, I don't think they're going to be great, but it's truly unfortunate that this is the way it has to go. And yes, I will take what should hopefully be 2 free wins, but it's not fun that way for me, right? Um, so I'm hoping that he's got a clear, good recovery, a healthy recovery, and then next season, we can have these young quarterbacks going against each other, right? Because that's something that I think many of us are fans of our team, but we're also fans of the game, right? And yeah, that's the way it is. So that situation sucks, but that's the type of stuff that can happen in this game, unfortunately. Up next, I want to talk about Matthew Judon of the Falcons. Really interesting because coming off the injury last season, he's still one of the top pass rushers in the league. Um, Bears and the Falcons were the two teams that had made offers for Matthew Judon. And interestingly enough, Atlanta chose to take Atlanta and send him to Atlanta instead of the Bears, right? Both teams offered a third round pick as far as we know. That's from multiple reports. And New England chose to send him to Atlanta instead. because they think that Atlanta is going to give them a better draft pick. So hearing that as a Bears fan, that's really exciting, right? Shows us that there's teams out there that think we're going to be pretty good, right? But it leads me to this next point of, okay, so the Bears were actively trying to get Matthew Judon. Are they going to actually get an edge rusher before the season starts? Because it's August 16th right now. Is Poles actually bring someone in, and who's that going to be? Or are they going to do what I think that they should do, and they should wait through this season, not through the entire season, but play some weeks, see how the defense is, see how the defense is playing with Montez Sweat, because as we saw last year, Montez Sweat really elevated the defense to another level. So we might not need another pass rush. And then if you do need a pass rush past a certain week, right? Maybe the defense is taking a step back, or they don't look as great, or the pass rush is really struggling. Okay, then let's get on the phone, right? And maybe you'll have to pay a little bit more doing that, right? As you get closer to the trade deadline, but maybe you won't, right? Maybe there's going to be a team that wants to offload some cap wants to, maybe there's a team out there that wants to, maybe we'll take New York, for example, the Jets. Maybe the Jets aren't going to be doing as great as they think they will be, and Hassan Reddick ends up playing, and the Jets aren't that good, and they know that he doesn't want to be there anymore. And so they decide, you know what, let's get rid of him for the trade deadline. Let's offload him, get him off our team, get him away from the locker room, whatever. And, in trade, the Bears get a good veteran pass rusher. With that being said, though, I want to say wait, because what we've seen from Austin Booker so far through 2 preseason games tells me and the people within my friend circle and my family that maybe we don't need to go trade for someone, that we may have the kid right here. And yes, he's doing this against backups so far, right? Second, third string guys, but he's dominating the second and third string guys, right? I didn't see, any other players in the Bears Bills game last week with 2.5 sacks, multiple QB hits, multiple pressures, multiple tackles. So you might have your developmental piece there. And there's a reason that Ryan Poles traded back into the draft to get this kid. So I like the effort of trying to get Judon, right? That would have been an instant help to our team, right? I mean, if you paired Matthew Judon with Montez Sweat, I mean, oh my gosh, right? And then you have J. Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, Jack Sanborn in the middle. It's pretty crazy, right? But I also think, let's wait and see what's going to happen in Dallas, right? Dallas is one of those teams where it's like right now there's nothing but distractions going on down there. Jerry Jones is running his team horribly. What's going on with Micah Parsons? Okay. Because there's a lot of media analysts out there that think that, Jerry Jones will sign Dak. We know that. Jerry Jones loves Dak. He attaches to these players. He overpays. So I think the best case scenario is not for the Cowboys, for us, the Bears, is maybe he pays Dak. Maybe he pays CeeDee Lamb, which he should pay CeeDee Lamb regardless of what he does with Dak, because that's your best offensive weapon, right? And then maybe there's no money there for Parsons. Okay. So then what happens? Maybe, just maybe, they decide, let's move. Or maybe Ryan Poles gets on the phone, because this is what happens now that you have Caleb Williams. You've got the quarterback, you hope. You got the quarterback. You've got the receivers, right? You got DJ Moore signed through 2029. You have Rome for the next 4 years, 5 years with a 5th-year option. You've got Komet for 3 more years, I think. You have DeAndre Swift for 4 or 5 years. You have the offensive pieces. You have the defensive pieces. We signed Montez Sweat. We extended Jalen Johnson. You have Tremaine Edmonds for another 2 seasons after this. TJ Edwards for this year and next year, I believe. You have Tyreek Stevenson on a rookie deal. He's in his 2nd year right now. So you have him for at least 2 more years after this one, plus a 5th-year option. You have Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon on their second year, or third year, excuse me. Okay, so the defensive pieces are there. So let's say that, Dallas wants a first-round pick next year and a second-round pick for Micah Parsons. Let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, you've got the pieces now. The draft capital isn't as valuable to us. And if Dallas is forced into a cap situation, who knows? You never know what can happen. So I think that, Poles is out there looking, but I don't think he's going to force anything crazy now. And I say just wait and see. Just take a breath, be patient, see what happens. See what happens in New York with Hassan Reddick. See what happens with some of these other guys. Maybe make some calls. Is so-and-so available? Right? And see. But see what you have in 94 first. See what you have in Austin Booker. Let's get him some real live reps. And what I really would love to see them do against Cincinnati this week is get him some reps against the ones. Okay? Let's see. Let's see what happens. Segueing into preseason game and kind of Bears news. Bears-Bengals joint practice happened today, the 15th. Bengals reporters saying they were very surprised with the Bears, that the Bears clearly won the day. They were questioning whether it was good Bears or bad Bengals. Caleb Williams threw 3 touchdowns to Keenan, Rome, and DJ. Defense looked fantastic. Jalen Johnson was locking down receivers. Of course, the Bengals don't have Jamar Chase out there. He's holding out, but locking down receivers. Joe Burrow was picked off 3 times by our starting unit. Of course, it's practice, and, we've had this discussion channel before. You have to take that somewhat lightly, but also some of that stuff does matter, right? And it's confident boosters, and that's against one of the best quarterbacks in the league, one of the top offenses in the AFC. Teams are kind of waking up. They're seeing that the monsters are potentially back. They see what's brewing here. And we're going to get to see another look at Caleb Williams and the starters against Cincinnati on Saturday. And, what do I want to see in this game? Similar to last week, I want to see clean operation. I don't want to see offensive penalties. I don't want to see fumbled snaps. I don't want to see delay games. Okay? I don't want to see injuries. That's my top priority. No injuries. Because the train gets derailed if we lose a key piece. Okay? I want to see the offense open up a little bit more. I know that they don't want to show everything, but I want to see, I'd love to see a deep shot. I would love to see, just a little bit more. Let's get Caleb a little bit more comfortable. Matty Eberflus hasn't said yet, but I expect the Bears starters to play. If it's similar to last year, I expect them to play about a half. I believe that's what they did last year, or perhaps it was 2 years ago. But I remember being the first game, 2-3 drives, depending on how they go. Second game, about a half, and then third game, sit them. So we'll see. I don't want to see injuries, and I want to see just clean play, good coaching, no fights, no stupid plays, turnovers, sacks, and let's get out safe, injury-free. Let's move on to the final week. And then we'll take on the Chiefs in the preseason game. We'll rest up, and we'll get ready to go try and get in position to put 30, 40 points on the Titans in week 1, right? Because I think that's definitely doable. So, lots of exciting things coming up, lots of different news around the league. We still got a lot to talk about. I want, a couple videos coming up next week. I want to be able to talk about the hot seat situation, what coaches are on the hot seat, what coaches are safe. I'm going to make a video on that. I want to continue predicting the rest of the NFC North, their seasons game by game, how I think they're going to go. We'll have some more videos on that, picking Minnesota, Green Bay, and Detroit schedules, picking their record game by game. And, we'll just keep up with the news. What's Brandon Ayuk doing? What are the San Francisco Niners doing, because Brock Purdy's probably going to be looking for a contract after this season, right? If he plays well. So lots to talk about, lots of breaking news still. I'm sure we'll have a couple more trades before the season starts, and we're about 3 weeks away from the start of the 24 season. So really, really excited. If you're a Bears fan, I know you're excited. We have a lot to be excited for. Football season, fall, best time is upon us. Appreciate you guys hanging out in the den with me as always. If you like this video, please go ahead, give it a thumbs up, comment. It helps me out. Hit that subscribe button. It allows me to keep making videos for you guys, and it really lets me know that you guys are enjoying listening in. So I appreciate you guys being here. As always, bear down. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.